Okay, hello folks, and welcome back. Thanks for following along. We're still continuing a look at some spots along the Saucon Rail Trail that aren't technically the Saucon Rail Trail. Old telegraph pole here. So this is the recycling center that we had a bypass at the end of the second video. Trail bypasses comes around. This is actually all in here is the roadbed, quite grown over through here. Nobody attempts to go through this because you can reroute down by the Saucon Creek, which is right down this little walkway here, and then you loop back up, and that's how you get to the spot that we were at previously at the High Street Bridge. So now this is the northernmost point of the Saucon Rail Trail. This is above the Water Street parking area in Hellertown, and this is where the rail trail officially starts. December 28th, 2023. It's a Thursday. End of December, and it's 50-some degrees. Really hoping we get some cold weather soon, just to at least kill off some bugs or something, or it's going to be a buggy year again. All right, so first stop right off the rail trail. Some iron history here. So obviously, if there's a railroad, there's an industry. And, this one is no different than any other one. So I cannot be 100% certain where everything was as far as factories, buildings, whatever went into what was here at one time. But that being said, we are looking at the ore dumps, or coal dumps, or, well, it's not the slag dumps, because the slag dumps are all back in that area there that you can't see. So this probably would have been ore. Saucon Iron Company, constructed in 1863. So that being said, North Pennsylvania Railroad was already here. 1857, North Pennsylvania Railroad comes through. So the railroad's predating the Iron Company. In 1884, the Saucon Iron Company is taken over by the Thomas Iron Works. If you're familiar with Lehigh County and Berks County iron industry, Northampton County included in that, the Thomas Iron Company was well known producing a lot of pig iron. They had furnaces in Hockendaquah, which is, I believe, the original and the one actually built by them. Everything else, I believe, was originally built by other companies, and Thomas bought it. So they had Hockendaquah, Pennsylvania, Albertus, Pennsylvania, and then not far from here in Lower Saucon was the Keystone Iron Furnace that they also bought. So that's four that I was able to find information online that belong to the Thomas Iron Works. So the Thomas Iron Works made pig iron, which was kind of like a raw iron that would go to, from what I believe, they would go to steel rolling mills to be made into more usable products. We have a baseball team in the Lehigh Valley called the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. So clearly that is where they get their name from. Lehigh Valley is very famous for iron and steel production from the early days on up into the end of Bethlehem Steel in the 90s. So you can see we have some stonework back here, which clearly is going to predate, sorry about that, these concrete pillars. again, it's hard for me to judge with the railroad being built in the 1850s and the furnace being built in the 1860s. I don't know if this retaining wall would have been part. I really just don't know if that would have been part of the original railroad grade or if that would have been put on 10 years later, and if all of this may have been stone pillars instead of concrete pillars. This is a large dump area, as I will show you. The iron industry kind of fizzled out in this area once they found better ore in the Midwest. But for many, many years, this was the heart of iron producing area. Starting, south of here in Durham, where the Durham iron furnaces were. That's a really, really interesting location. Very historical. You're talking iron that possibly was used during the Revolutionary War. So that goes way back. That way back farther than this industrial steel boom that took place in the Lehigh Valley. I really like the contradiction of the stonework and the concrete. The Thomas Iron Works in Hellertown, I believe, was abandoned in the 1920s. And I think Bethlehem Steel took ownership and then just scrapped it, from what I believe. So again, I have no idea what any of these remains could have been. They could have been some sort of weighing station. This could have just been another dump for anything. There could have been trains running across here too, and if this maybe has just been backfilled over the years. And this is a huge industry in this area. Just to the north of us, a couple of miles, is still lots of remains from Bethlehem Steel. Lehigh Valley Railroad Management has huge yards up there that they work for Norfolk Southern. So there's still a huge rail impact in this area, but not like what it used to be. I have been looking at pictures on the Historic Aerials website, and you can see how much trackage was in the area over the years. But if I tried to reproduce those pictures and put them in the community page, it wouldn't be detailed enough. But if you feel like checking it out yourself, historicaerials.com, and then go to the Hellertown area of Pennsylvania, and you should be able to find some pretty cool pictures. So this is interesting how it's cut out here. There's a couple of spots like that along this retaining wall. Again, good contradiction or contrast between the stone and concrete here. And this is right off the rail trail. But what's interesting is when you walk the rail trail in the summertime, you would never know. You'd have to come off the trail, which is easy to do. It's easily marked. And you come down this road to find these remains here. But if you were not from the area, or if you were just walking the rail trail for the first time, this is all hidden by brush in the summertime. Again, not down here, but from topside on the rail trail. Oh, I thought this spot was pretty neat too. We've got some old, looks like narrow gauge rail used for reinforcement in the concrete. I don't know if that would have been a bridge right there, Lots of deer along the Saucon Rail Trail too. I've seen a good dozen or so far today, and they just look at you like there's no problem, which I know is bad when deer become that accustomed to humans. But it's still kind of neat to just be able to almost walk up to one and be like, how you doing? Here's a good look. Pan around real quick. You can see the retaining wall in the background. It's just really cool. And the rail trail's right up there. And it just goes on. We got some threaded pipe here and some more rails you can see. Rail to reinforce whatever was up here. I mean, I did some digging around back in there, but it's not a whole lot going on. I can just speculate. And a couple more pieces of concrete over there. All right, so there's actually something that I did just discover today, down the road a little bit here. I'm gonna take you guys there next, and that'll probably wrap up our little Saucon Rail Trail adventure for the day. My feet are soaked, but well worth it. All right, folks, I'll see you at the next spot.